decision and like to understand my profile to how can I make it better, how can I make it more suited towards a master's in management. I started it way back, like after I decided, like it was around October 2022 that I decided that yeah, I would be going for a master's in management. And
This
so
is
that
a very genuine case, very genuine case because once people start earning, एक ना financial independency आ जाती है.
uh,
Just imagine after bachelor's, आप 3-4 years you are getting salary in your account and fixated आपका पूरा fixed flow चल रहा है. And one day out of the blue you're like, okay, now I have to be dependent on someone. I won't be earning. That shift, people are not used to it.
I when I was researching on that, I researched about every course that was available, like masters in marketing, international business, then
Mm.
social entrepreneurship, and all of those courses were there. But like
Mm.
what stuck, what intrigued me about this masters in management was it was sort of like the 3 year course that I'm talking about at EDHEC also, like most of the French business schools. First is the general management year, then they have a gap year, and then you could specialize. That really appealed to me because first I would get to learn about all the basic stuff that are there in management.
Hi everyone, welcome to another podcast from our series of Fall 2024 Intake. And today we'll be having an unfiltered conversation about what does it take to crack EdHEC, the podcast where we explore the journeys of the students venturing beyond their home countries for higher education. So before we begin, I'll just give a quick introduction about myself. Then for sure, Rajiv, you can also give a quick introduction about yourself. So I am Ashmita, a senior study abroad counselor here at ACE MyFair. That's the premium study abroad consultancy. What about you, Rajiv? What is your background like?
Hi everyone, I'm Rajiv Chatterjee. I am currently in my final year. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's in engineering from Jadavpur University, and I'm an incoming master's in management student at EDHEC Business School. So I'm based out of Kolkata, and I'm excited to be a part of this podcast.
Perfect. Very happy to have you here, Rajiv. That you right now you are having an offer for masters in management, business management specifically, the course at EdHEC Business School, right? For September 24 intake. So a huge congratulations on the same. How are you feeling? EdHEC का offer आ गया. What's the feeling like?
It was good because it was a really tough time before that because I had to manage my college studies and like simultaneously work on the SOPs, LORs. So it was kind of a hectic schedule before getting
Mm-hmm.
the offer. After I got the offer, I was a little relaxed. Ki, na, abhi to ho gaya. So then I was focusing on the because EdHEC was the first offer that I got. So after that, I was focusing on other offers as well. So, but like the EdHEC offer was too good to reject, so I went on with it.
Okay, so no, when did this thought come कि बाहर जाना है? Like this was implanted in your head since very beginning?
No, actually, I was in my third year, so
Mm-hmm.
I did an internship in sort of a business development role at a startup, and I was really
Mm-hmm.
like it was a great opportunity, firstly, and to work with customers. Like it was very client facing, so it was a great experience. And then I thought that it's something that I want to do because
Mm-hmm.
I was doing my engineering, but this was something that excited me, and I was also a part of my college's entrepreneurship cell and all of those. So we had like sessions with entrepreneur startups. So I was really inclined towards this startup ecosystem. So I thought
Mm-hmm.
that the next logical step for me would be to get a master's in management degree, and therefore after that I started researching on the institutes that offer, what are the best countries that offer these courses. And yeah, so that was the like that is when I got the idea that yeah, need to go for a master's in management.
मतलब ये बैचलर्स के बीच में आया कि अब तो जाना चाहिए.
uh,
Okay, so you're the first one from your family to move abroad या पहले जा रखे हैं?
I'm the first one from my family.
How is the family reacting कि okay now you'll be going?
Yeah, it's a mixed feeling. So they are excited that I'm going. They were excited when I first got the offer, but now as the time of departure is nearing, so now they are a little down, sad. Yeah.
Are you also feeling a bit sad or you're like yeah ठीक है नहीं ये तो करना ही है?
it's like I had to go somewhere. Like even after my graduation, job to lagti or फिर कहीं ना कहीं तो जाना ही पड़ता. So now that I'm going for a master's in management, so that job thing is replaced by a higher education. So I am like it's a little like I'm a little anxious also, but it's kind of that happy anxious feeling that yeah. So
परफेक्ट ठीक है सो व्हाट वाज योर अप्रोच मतलब स्टार्टिंग में जब बिकॉज इट्स अ वेरी बिग डिसीजन ऑफ मूविंग अब्रॉड सो योर अप्रोच वाज इट मैं खुद से स्टार्ट करूंगा द प्रोसेस और वाज योर अप्रोच यू वर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू अ कंसल्टेंसी हाउ वाज दिस
I started to look to the consultancies, but then I thought that I should do it on my own because I have the time. I can do it on my own. So I started researching. Like first step was to like identify about myself, like what are the strengths that I could highlight in the profile, and so all of that, the brainstorming thing I did for a month. Then I understood the requirements of the colleges. Like some of them required the GMAT, some of them had the optional GMAT, some of them required the IELTS. Like the UK colleges require IELTS, but they don't have such strict policies about GMAT. But the French ones, they accept GMAT. It's a compulsion for them, and IELTS can be like they it can be foregone. So like you could skip the IELTS.
इट
So
कैन बी वेव्ड ऑफ विद
yeah,
एमओआई आपका
yeah.
मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन हाँ
So then after all of that was done, then I picked that what would be the best place for me to study. Like I identified UK and France would be the best places for me to go. And then
on what
I started
grounds did you finalize that UK and France is your final destination
actually, firstly, the economy, like the economic condition, because UK is one of the like my career goal is centered around finance. So I thought that UK, since London is one of the financial hubs of the Europe, so I thought that firstly I should keep UK, and then I thought France, since it's 3 year degree with a gap year in between, so it sort of gives a nice cushion to understand whether the finance is really my thing. So if I do an internship, then I understand that finance is not the thing. So then I can change tracks. So yeah, that was the two like thoughts that I had while selecting the course. So
Okay,
the
so out
country,
of curiosity, genuine curiosity I am having since I deal with students day in day out. तो इतनी क्लैरिटी से जितना आप मुझे बता रहे हो ना कि हमें ट्रेड्स देखना था या कंट्री की स्पेसिफिकेशंस देखनी थी many a times students are not aware only what exactly to judge
yeah,
उनका उनको समझ नहीं आता कि फिल्ट्रेशन क्राइटेरिया क्या रखे कि कौन सी कंट्री कौन सा कोर्स एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे सीक प्रोफेशनल हेल्प
yeah.
So, you being the first person from your family to move abroad, how did you have that clarity कि यार मुझे यही criteria रखना है इसी में जाना है? Was there someone guiding you or was it your own research कि इतने endless YouTube videos, Google texts? How was
So
it?
it was both. Like I contacted a few of the people from the colleges that I was targeting on LinkedIn. I had
Okay.
like I had talks with them regarding what's the situation, like the
Hmm.
ground situation there. Like I am here, like I don't have the correct perspective about the situation there, but they are studying there and they know about the whole economy and the
Exactly.
situation. So I contacted them. I asked them questions, whatever were my questions, and then they answered, and also like I complemented it with my research. Like yeah, I know this now, this is the additional information that I have, so sorted I sorted the options based on those inputs.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, this was the starting. And when did you exactly start with your process for September 24? What was the timeline?
I started at around July end, so like the research started at July end, but
Okay.
like decision and like to understand my profile, to how can I make it better, how can I make it more suited towards a master's in management. I started it way back, like after I decided like it was around October 2022 that I decided that yeah, I would be going for a master's in management. So then I started to fine tune my profile with that. So the journey started like 1 year back.
Got it. And your applications, it was all the applications were submitted in round one itself.
Yeah, no, round one I submitted EDHEC, Imperial, and round two I kept it for all the competitive ones. But sorry, the all the dream ones like LBS and HEC. So that was the
How many schools in total did you apply to?
I applied to four schools.
Okay,
LBS.
these EDHEC, Imperial, LBS, HEC. अच्छा और इनमें से what is the status now of each and every
Uh,
university?
LBS, HEC, I got rejected, but LBS I reached
Mm-hmm.
interview rounds and then then the offer didn't came through. And Imperial I got accepted and EDHEC also I got accepted.
Okay, and we have chosen EDHEC over
I
Imperial.
chose EDHEC.
Perfect. Absolutely, absolutely. ठीक है. So I would like to ask one major question. That's the elephant in the room. I would say
Yeah,
you're currently completing your bachelor's in engineering, electronics and telecommunication, correct?
yeah, yeah.
And you're moving ahead with master's in management.
Yes.
How exactly the relevance is built? Why exactly a shift?
Uh, as I said, after one internship during my summer, like there is a gap for engineering students as well. So it's a 3 month gap where you could intern, and that's the gap between the third year and the fourth year. So I got an internship at a early stage startup, and I was working with the business development front, and I really enjoyed the role. I didn't expect to enjoy because I was more inclined towards the SD software development roles. So this was something that I hadn't done before. So then I researched, and मेरे को अच्छा लगा वो role because it was client facing. You had a lot of interaction with people. You got to learn a lot from people. And then I
Hmm.
thought that maybe I should explore more such roles in this domain. And then I went
Hmm.
to work with a few more startups and then one MNC. And then I also started my own startup with two of my friends. So we were working on this fintech product, and then we worked for like about 6 months on that. But then we couldn't find a proper product market fit for it. So then I left it, but it was a great experience, and then it made me realize that I really want to stay close to the startup ecosystem and work with them, or just work for some startups. So then I decided that, but yeah, then I thought to myself that I still don't have some particular skills that I would need to refine. So then I thought that maybe I'll work and then I'll go for an MBA. But then I thought that once you get into that work mentality, you won't ever since you wouldn't ever again make up the decision to go for higher studies. It's for my case, it may vary for other people, but for me, like once I get into work, I knew that it won't happen again. So I thought that
This is a very genuine case. A very
yeah,
genuine case because once people start earning, एक ना financial independency आ जाती है. Just
like,
imagine after bachelor's, आप 3-4 years you are getting salary in your account and fixated आपका पूरा fixed flow चल रहा है. And one day out of the blue you're like, okay, now I have to be dependent on someone. I
uh,
won't be earning. That shift, people are not used to it.
yeah. So I thought to myself that I won't be comfortable with that shift as well. So
Hmm?
then I thought that
So why not masters in entrepreneurship? Why not marketing in something like marketing and sales, something international business? Why exactly MIM? Why or did you apply to? Did you think of any other courses as well?
no, I when I was researching on that, I researched about every course that was available, like masters in marketing, international business, then
Hmm.
social entrepreneurship, and all of those courses were there. But like
Hmm.
what stuck, what intrigued me about this masters in management was it was sort of like the 3 year course that I'm talking about at EDHEC also, like most of the French business schools. First is the general management year, then they have a gap year, and then you could specialize. That really appealed to me because first I would get to learn about all the basic stuff that are there in management studies, and then you could like explore, and then you could select what you need to specialize about. So that is something
Uh,
that I liked about the course. If I took a marketing course, for example, and midway I felt that no, marketing is not my thing, maybe I should have gone for a
hmm.
finance course. So then it would have been tricky situation, because already you are
It's where you are getting that window to
yeah,
giving space to even
space
grasp
to.
everything and then take a final.
So that's why
So
masters in management.
okay, but why not mainstream countries like the majority of the students, Indian students, they're like US, UK. We even you will speak of London Business School or Oxford, even top schools of US we are having. For example, Wharton, or if you're speaking of Duke, Columbia. So was that there in your thought as well that you might be taking up US names?
No, I refrained from the US because firstly they are a little expensive than the UK.
Little expensive,
Uh, it's a bit expensive than the
very expensive.
UK and the
Hmm.
French ones. And I searched the like rankings and all. Like rankings was one of the criterias as well. So when I searched the FT rankings, HEC, EDHEC, mostly the European MIM programs were in the top 10. So I thought that I should stick to European because it ticks a lot of the boxes. It's cheaper than the US ones and it's highly ranked. So that's where the.
Absolutely. मैनेजमेंट वाज born in the Europe. तो आप अगर यूरोप के स्कूल्स ही देखोगे जैसे इनसेड हो गया एचईसी पेरिस एडेक एसेक्स ऑल दे आर देयर इन द यूरोपियन मार्केट एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी आर ट्रैकिंग सो ग्रेट पार्ट सो ठीक है राजेश तो क्विक क्वेश्चन व्हाट वाज देयर इन आवर प्रोफाइल स्पेसिफिकली मतलब जैसे हमारे पास अभी बीई की बात करें एंड योर स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस एसओपीज हैव 70% weightage in your application what all did you highlight in your profile to make yourself stand out and get an offer?
I I have a very diverse kind of profile. So I used to play cricket, and like professionally I used to play cricket till like I represented my state team in the under 17s, and I also used to go for MUN conferences, and then I had my own startup, and then I participated in a lot of hackathons and competitions. So these were the paths that I tried to focus on after talking to a lot of the people like from the colleges who got accepted into EDHEC and Imperial. They everybody said the same thing, that highlight different skill sets in your profile, and don't just focus on the academic part, also focus on the extracurricular part or the social impact things that you have done in your overall like journey. From focus, like they told me to focus from class 12 till like the engineering. So like basically 4 years of my life, what did I do, and if there was some other extracurriculars that I did. So I tried to diversify my skill set and identify special points that were there that would make me stand out. So like I was the treasurer of my the animal organization of my club. So I used to go for fundraisers with the club. So I tried to highlight that as one point. I had art degree, so diploma in arts. So I tried to highlight that as well. So that it makes my profile not very monotonous. They feel that this guy has done something other than just studying, because that is what
Hmm.
the management schools need. Because once you're at a management school, more than studies, it's about how you gel with people, because you're already there with around 50, 60 more people from like 30 more nationalities. So
Yep.
it's how you adapt to them, how you adapt to the culture, how you are with group settings, how you are at leading teams. So these are the specific skills that I try to highlight in my profile.
I mean, it's commendable actually at this age. You actually know what you want to do, Rajiv. मतलब usually क्या होता है? If you're coming with this profile, हो सकता है सामने वाला is also perceiving in this way that you have done A B C D E. That means you don't know what you want and you are like jack of all trades, master of none. Sometimes that is how the university perceives. But अभी क्या होता है यूनिवर्सिटी में when we the study abroad applications हमारे जाते हैं international students की तरह, it's all about what you show it to them. They only see what you show, and it's all about the storyline that we create.
Yes,
So
yes.
SOPs में, did you take the final call? Okay, this is my SOP, or were there different people reviewing your SOP and then giving a final heads up?
No, I like it was the second case. So like I talked to my friends, I gave them my SOP, and I took feedbacks from them. That what they felt was a little missing from my profile. What they felt was very well highlighted in my profile. I took feedbacks from like 10 of my friends, and like from my family members, and from as well as the people who I talked to LinkedIn as well. So like I mailed them my SOP and I told them ki if you have time, please read. And they were really helpful. They did some edits and they like gave some feedback on it. And based upon those feedbacks, I tried to like reiterate on the SOPs. And after a while, after like 2-3 weeks, I was confirmed that like you also feel that yeah, this is the story that I really want to project now. Like this is complete. So then once I was convinced that yeah, this is the story that I would go forward with, then I submitted, like I finalized my SOP.
Chalo, that's actually perfect. Okay, so you had different SOPs for different universities that we went ahead with, है ना? ठीक है, all right. And now speaking of you reaching out to your LinkedIn community, I've seen your LinkedIn. It is massive. Like you are pretty much active there on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And networking is the key, Rajiv. It is the key, right? So throw some light on how exactly did you understand the power of networking, or how has it helped you?
Yeah, like firstly, uh, in India, networking is not that valued, because in business schools, mainly you like there are the placement is based upon networking. Like you reach out to your alumni network, you get your placements, you get your offers. But in India, it's more placement cell based. So we
Hmm.
are not used to that kind of culture. So while talking to, I also wasn't aware of this culture previously. So once I had a once I reached out to few people and they said key networking is really important. So then I started to network with people. I even my parents asked me to like talk to other people as well who have actually successfully converted the offers. So then I started my LinkedIn outreach. I like reached out to people. Some of them replied, some of them didn't, but most of them who all replied were really helpful. And after that, once I talked to them, like this is what you need in the business school as well. Like once you're finding they said key internships, the find for internships would be really tough. So once you have a good network, that makes it a little bit easier for you to find internships in a completely foreign land. So then I started networking on LinkedIn. I reached out to as many people as I could, like even for a short introductory call, or just a Gmeet for 10 minutes. And that's how I expanded my network. So it was basically just through formal introductions and reaching out to them, and people were helpful.
Hmm. Perfect. So I believe as a result of that networking, we are also here,
Yeah.
right? Perfect. ठीक है. That's great, Rajiv. So when it comes to your profile, we mentioned about all the extras. And India में एक notion होता है, जैसे आप MBA कर रहे हो, CAT देना ही है. Exams are very important, right? Marks is something. So for this part as well, moving abroad, did you appear for any examinations? Did you take a GMAT, GRE, or even your IELTS?
I took the GMAT. I didn't take the IELTS. Like after the offer came from Imperial, they said ki you need to submit your IELTS score. Then I
हाँ
took the
हाँ हाँ.
IELTS. But my first preference was the GMAT. So I applied through the GMAT, and like since IELTS and GMAT both are really expensive exams, so I thought of first sticking to the GMAT. If the offer came through from Imperial, or mainly Imperial, because the other schools didn't have a IELTS criteria. So once the offer comes through, then I would apply if they ask for it. So, but for the French B schools, IELTS wasn't required, so I just had applied to the GMAT.
What was the score in GMAT?
660.
660.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So did you plan on taking it up again, or you were like, nahi, theek hai, you were confident कि हो जाएगा? Because usually GMAT में they say कि 720, 730 plus you need for aiming for these schools. So how did you deal with that?
I firstly, when the score came, like I had given some mocks previously. So I was getting around 700, 710s. But when the actual score came, it was 660. I was a little disappointed. So I reached out to people again saying that, is it too bad a score to apply to these colleges? And few people said, ki, yeah, you need to retake. But most of them were like that GMAT only holds a certain percentage of the whole application. So focus on your SOPs and LORs more now. Like make it more personal, make it more impactful. And then I said, "Ki, yeah, like the main thing is the uh, what I portray about myself than just the score." So I thought that let's focus on the SOPs and LOR, and I went on with the 660 score itself.
Like, was it entirely becoming overwhelming for you, all these things at some point?
It was like after like once I gave the GMAT, and then there was a like once the score came, then it was like a 5 to 6 days period of intense pressure, because then I had to decide that whether I should give the GMAT again, and the round one deadlines were approaching. So that was a tough period. I also had to write the SOPs, make the necessary edits, and then there were exams at college as well. So that period was a bit overwhelming.
I get it. ठीक है, and you overcame that by doing what?
I tried to like compartmentalize. Like I tried to focus that okay, GMAT is done. This is the score I have, 660. I would apply with this score. Let's see what happens. So I left the GMAT worry. I focused on the SOP and the LORs. Like rigorously worked on it day and night. And college exams, somehow I studied in the night. Like I had to pull some all nighters, and then I studied and worked on the SOPs, LORs as well. So I shifted my focus to the controllables rather than the uncontrollables. So like this SOP and LOR was in my control. GMAT was done. Like it's not in my control anymore. So I focused on that, like just the SOPs and LORs, perfecting it.
Like, no, that's actually great what you are doing, right? So yes, this is one thing which I even tell my students ki efforts डालने हैं, but put the efforts in the correct direction. That is important. If you're not putting efforts in the correct direction, it's an entire wastage of time, money, efforts. Being very
Yes.
honest, right? So strategy karna hota, that's a great thing, and I believe you had good support, good people, correct kind of people around you to even guide you in the best way possible.
Uh,
ठीक है, that's perfect. So you also got any? Did you apply for any scholarships to these universities?
no, I didn't apply for the scholarships. I got the one of the major reasons for me to select EDHEC was they offered me 30% scholarship from the EDHEC Excellence Scholarship that they have. So like it was one of the major factors, and I think I was the like in the cohort that we applied, and like round one, round two, round three. I guess only few people got the amount of scholarship that I got. Like it was 30% that I got, and most of them didn't get. So I was really, I was really happy that I got that scholarship, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
that was one of the factors that I
So, mhm.
that made me choose
Me
EdTech.
too. You had to separately apply for a scholarship, or was it in the same process? How was the scholarship
They,
process?
they offered me the scholarship on their own. I didn't have to apply for it. Like it was like they, I don't know the exact criteria,
Mhm.
but they gave like a 30% scholarship, and it varied. Like people got 10, 20, 30 was the max, I guess.
Okay, all right, perfect. So you were having the maximum scholarship. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Okay. So Rajiv, you chose four schools, what you mentioned before. All of them top category. They're the dream schools, right?
Yeah.
So did we also apply to any other safer name or average category name?
No, I tried to like talking to people and understanding my profile. I thought that LBS and HEC would be like the dreams one for me. Like, and then I sort of chose EDHEC and Imperial as the competitive ones. Like, I didn't go for such a like a safety bracket kind of school. I went all in, like all or nothing kind of
What
so
was plan B?
plan B was I had an offer from like the graduation after I got a full time offer from my college placement. So that was a plan B. Like if I didn't get in, I would have got I would have like taken up the offer from like a employment offer. So that was the plan B.
Okay. But glad that plan A worked out. That's
Yeah,
that's perfect. So you going into top B schools, you had interview rounds as well for these universities?
yeah. There was the EDHEC and Imperial ones were video interviews, like there were pre-recorded questions and I had to answer. And for LBS, it was with alumnus of LBS. Like you get matched with an alumnus from that university, and then you have to fix on a date when you could give the interview, and then you basically give the interview with them on the decided date. But the EDHEC and the Imperial ones were video interviews. Like they had given a time slot, that this is the time frame that you have to give the interview
Hmm.
in, and then you said they had the link, and you have to go through the link and then give the interview and record your answers. Like they would give you 1 minute to think about and 2 minutes to answer, both the cases, like Imperial and in EDHEC, both of them.
That's a Kira interview. So,
Yeah.
what was your strategy towards the interview prep? How did you go ahead with that?
uh, Kira interview, again, I asked the people from the LinkedIn network, and I talked to them. And like again, they told me that it's basically very like standard questions itself. Like what are some of the leadership experience that you had in your life, and when did you have to face a conflict, and how did you resolve? So these questions, they said, keep pick instances from your profile that match these questions, and then you could answer these questions based on the experiences and try to make it concise, and like focus on the like on a particular framework, like STAR framework, like situation, and I don't remember the exact full form of the acronym, but like they said ki it was like situation, some T, and then actions and results. So that was
Okay.
the basic framework that they asked me to follow. So I don't remember the full form of the T, but like, yeah, the STAR framework.
Okay, so you followed that, and that's how you got in.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, as a student, अगर मैं starting से journey लूँ, what was your major concern as a student or your major pain point?
Major pain point was like one of the things that I really wanted was that the exact help with the SOPs and LORs. Like I knew I took feedback from people and all, but like if you had someone who has a lot of experience to work one on one with you, that would be like a great thing. Because if the most of the people I talked to, and they gave me inputs and I then worked on my own. But like if you have people to like continuously check on you, that this is the
Hmm.
thing you need to put in your SOP, this is the thing you need to put in your LOR, like on a daily basis, then it like helps you to manage the load. Because for a person who's pursuing maybe his job as well, who's applying to a school while working at a firm, or like someone who's uh, like who's studying at a college, it becomes really difficult to like keep a track of everything. So if there is a person who you could be held accountable to, and they could be helping you with the LORs and SOP on a daily basis, that would be first thing that would really have helped me to like ease out a bit. And the second thing that I feel would be really helpful is people who could like give actual uh, what do I say, like actual inputs from the ground level. Like I had to reach out a lot of people to actually zero down upon the people who could actually give like proper inputs. Most of them didn't reply, and it took a lot of time to actually get close to people who actually knew about the college and its curriculum and all. So that thing is really important, because the colleges, they they focus on your profile, but they also focus that how enthusiastic and how inspired are you to go to that college, and that can only happen when you know a lot about that college. So yeah, that's one thing that I think would have, that's the two things that I think would have helped a lot.
All right. See, networking is the key. Anyways, it is the key, right? So one thing like up to offer aa gaya, you'll be
Yeah.
moving, right? So what are your plans with the part-time jobs? Thought of it?
Part-time jobs, I like EdHEC doesn't have a provision for the part-time jobs. Like they are more, if it's apprenticeship, then you could apply like for an apprenticeship, but they like encourage you to not take up part-time jobs because this schedule is really hectic. And
Mm.
I had a talk with again people, and they said ki the schedule is really hectic, so you won't get time to give your full commitment to these part-time jobs. So then, but given that, they said ki एक चीज that is the most important in France is the knowledge of French. Like you have to be fluent with French and to get like the high paying jobs in France. And
Mm.
also they said ki gap year internships, the fine for gap year internships would be a little tough. So be prepared for that and
Mm.
network as much as you could. So that's why I'm networking and like working on my French fluency.
You're working on your French fluency? Like you've
Yeah,
started with the classes?
yeah, I've started the classes.
Okay, all right. So, a question, since again we were speaking of networking, it is the key, it is the key. So, what about RAs and TAs, that's research assistantship, teaching assistantship, if you've heard of it?
Yeah, yeah.
You've heard of these terms? Yeah, right. So, do you think because ये networking करोगे नहीं वहाँ पे आप सिर्फ पढ़ोगे, then that will make no sense,
Yeah,
right? Because it's also about कि आपको offer मिल गया, you are studying, but it's also about कि post that where will I be?
yeah,
It's also about what is my return of investment. If I'm investing some X amount, the ROI should be minimum double,
yeah.
right? And also your entire future. So, how are you, if it are not part time jobs, then how are you plan to take up the networking?
Uh, I like, firstly, one of the major things in EDHEC is they have a lot of networking events itself in the college.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
like in the university itself. So they have days basically. So they have like marketing day, they have finance day, they have private equity day, venture capital day. So during these days, people from these basic fields, they come to
Hmm.
your college and they like give talk shows and like hold seminars. And also companies in these domains, like for example marketing, there is Unilever, there is PNG. These companies come and they give show, like they give talks, and they hold student interactions, and you could interact with people from their company, understand what their company uh, works on, what the culture is. So that is something that I really look forward to attending. And other than that,
Hmm.
there is a thing called Career Center in EDHEC, which is very famous for being one of the best career centers in whole of Europe. So they help you with networking with individuals in the field that you want to work in. So suppose if you want to work in marketing and you want this specific role, they would help you with networking to people who are working or who have worked in that specific role. So
Hmm.
while talking to people, they said ki career center would play a huge role in your professional development, and as well as the internships and the full-time offers, like while finding
Hmm.
internships and full-time opportunities. So yeah, these two things, like I want to maximize on them.
Perfect. ठीक है, मतलब you have your plan set. Great. What are you most excited about once you reach there?
Most excited about is the diversity that there is, because I have like my foreign travels has been very limited. So and also it has been more recreational, but like to stay in a foreign land for like 3 years and getting to know their culture, and also to interact with people from like 30-40 different countries, making friends with them, studying together and growing together is something that really excites me. Like the amount of cultural knowledge you would gain from that sort of an experience, that's unparalleled to any kind of experience otherwise.
Absolutely. That's actually there. But see, वही है कि वहां जाके you will be getting into a new environment. We feel it's ठीक है सब होने वाला, but balancing the studies, the academic part, the personal life, it requires good time management. But I believe you're pretty well.
Yeah,
So just that make your schedule well once you're going there. Prioritize things according to your schedule and give some time for relaxation as well for your mental peace. That's very important, Rajiv.
yes.
ठीक है. All right. So offer आ गया. अब offer के बाद ना the major thing that is there is visa. मेक और ब्रेक सिचुएशन होता है. ऑफर आ
Yes.
गया, वीजा नहीं आया, कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
So what, the visa is approved?
No, it's in process. So the
Okay.
visa is it's in two step basically. So first you have to apply to through something called Campus France. So you have to apply with your they have a portal. You have to apply with your offer letter, with your CV and all, and then they verify your CV experiences. They verify the offer letter, and then they call you for an interview. once you
Hmm.
once you have given the interview, they clear, like they issue an clearance for your file, and then it gets processed to the embassy, like it gets processed for the visa procedure. So I'm
Hmm.
currently in that Campus France stage, so it's under process right now. I will get my interview call, I hope, in the next 1 or 2 weeks. And then like few people from the like I am in contact with a lot of the other people who have got admitted to EDHEC this year. So some of them have had their interviews, and they said कि 2 से 3 week लगता है for the final visa procedure to start
हाँ.
after the Campus France is done. So once I'm done with the Campus France, I'm expecting it to get done within 2-3 weeks, I guess.
So you're also part of the Facebook groups जो होते हैं जैसे यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से, या you are?
Yeah, there is a WhatsApp group of all the edX students from different
Hmm.
disciplines. Like there are from masters in management, there are from masters in marketing, and then MBA, global MBA. So all of them are together in the group, and so that's the medium of communication, the knowledge base for everyone. Some people have researched a lot about the procedures, and they are helping a lot of other students who are still not aware about the situation. So yeah, that's the
Okay, so again, networking.
yeah, it's about networking.
Perfect. ठीक है. So how did you manage your finances? How was that sorted?
It's half self-sponsored and half it's loan. So
Hmm?
currently the loan has got approved, and
Okay.
so that's 50-50. It's a 50-50 split between self-sponsor and loan.
And that you got approved by which bank?
I got it from ICICI Bank.
ICICI. Okay, and I believe that is a collateral that you have taken.
No, that's without a collateral.
That's none. So what exactly is the interest rate as of now for ICICI?
Interest rate was for me it was around I guess 10.5%.
10.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So ठीक है. All right. So we entire visa journey, entire finances, it was all just through networking, all just through your own research that you did.
Uh, Yeah,
Yeah.
it was completely through networks, and the visa and the visa process was after I got into the WhatsApp group. So I didn't know a lot about the visa process, but people there were aware of the visa process. So also EDHEC was really helpful with all of these things. So they started contacting us regularly after the end of March. So they started sending out mails that what are the next procedure that you have to follow, and these are the steps that you would need to go through. And so they were really helpful with all these offers. Like they helped with the accommodation, they helped with they helped with making people aware what the visa process would look like. They even held seminars for all the international students that this
Wow.
is how you need to apply to the visas, and this is how you need to apply for the accommodation as well, the on-campus accommodations. So
That is
all of those
sorted. Accommodation on campus is sorted.
accommodation is sorted. Accommodation is sorted.
For COVID.
Yeah, the EDHEC has been really helpful in this matter. Like they have established constant connection with all these students. They send out mails every 15 days or so to tell what is the next
Mm-hmm.
procedure. They even have laid out a proper plan of what you need to do after reaching Paris airport, like what train you need to take, and all of these stuff. So they have been
That's
really helpful.
perfect. That's actually very helpful. Yeah. That's great. So accommodation अभी आपका it's booked on campus, and even flight tickets are booked for you.
Yeah, flight tickets are booked. Just the visa
कब जा
is
रहे हो?
remaining. I'm leaving on 20th of August.
20th of August.
Uh,
फिर anxiety थोड़ी सी.
Yeah, है थोड़ी सी तो है मतलब I have since my college was also basically I am a day scholar, so like I travel from my house to my college every day. So stayed at my home for almost almost 22 years of my life now. So now this is the first time I would be going to a place that to a completely different land. So it's a
Absolutely.
little and like there's little anxiousness surrounding that, but it's a sort of unhappy anxiousness because again you would get to learn and you to get to experience a whole different world there. So that is something that's exciting me, but yeah, leaving behind family is something that's obviously a little sad.
या बट वही कहीं से कहीं तक जाने के लिए कहीं से निकलना बहुत जरूरी होता है इज व्हाट पीपल से राइट एंड दिस एक्सपोजर इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर नॉट जस्ट योर प्रोफेशनल ग्रोथ बट योर पर्सनल ग्रोथ एज वेल क्योंकि वहां पे आप जब जाओगे छोटी से छोटी चीज इवन लाइक वॉशिंग योर क्लोथ्स डिश वॉशिंग बाइंग ग्रोसरीज एवरी सिंगल थिंग यू विल बी मैनेजिंग एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम so उसके साथ साथ managing the academic part as well, your networking as well. That's how you even make new learnings of life,
Yeah.
not just the studies, right? So even I am excited about this part. Abhi tak you were in a safe space of home, and now
Yeah.
you'll be leaving. So yes, perfect. What are your long term plans? Like you're planning to shift your family there, plan to study and come back. Abhi ke hisab se long term क्या है?
अभी के हिसाब से the long term plan is to once I graduate, like I
Hmm.
would love to work in Europe for like 2 3 years, and then I would look to come back to India because the main point of taking up an higher education at a foreign university was to gain experience at a foreign land, working at a foreign place. So yeah, that's one of the factors that I'm taking. So I'll work there for like 2 3 years, and then I would plan on returning home. So if
Plan
it
on running home.
yeah, if it like
Hmm.
transpires in that sense.
Perfect. Perfect. That's great. Okay, so before we end our podcast, we have already moved towards the end. Before we are ending it, one last question I have for you. Not question exactly, but I would want you to give out a piece of advice to all the study abroad aspirants out there.
Yeah, I think that one piece of advice that I would like to give is that you need to introspect yourself a lot when you are applying to these universities, because in India you have your CAT exams, and they're also like once you get your score you have to give set for the interviews, and like they ask you personal questions, they ask you questions that are really like they are very specific about your profile and all, but it's more heightened in the foreign universities. Like you need to know yourself really well to write your SOPs and LOR. So I would one thing that I would love to say is that be honest with your profile. Like even if you have like achievements that you think that are not really significant, try to highlight them in any way possible. Like whatever learnings you had, even if you had like conflict resolution, even if you had like a small heated discussion during a hackathon with your friend, and then how did you overcome it, even that accounts for like conflict resolution. So people generally ignore and think that it's insignificant, that what impact could that make in my SOP, but these sort of things really do impact. And so try to be honest with your profile and introspect yourself as much as you can. Try to highlight even the smallest of your achievements, and any smallest, like even the smallest of your learnings from whatever life experiences you have had. So yeah, that's the thing I would say.
Perfect. Well said, well articulated. That's actually so true. Great then. Thank you so much, Rajiv. I am really happy for you. But I hope कि visa jaldi lag jaye, right? And it's all because that is now one pendency. Baki
Yeah.
everything is sorted,
Yeah.
right? So bas that's done. Baki since you're networking, just make sure that you know whatever necessary items you need to carry here from India, you are taking that along with you. Because वहाँ पे some things would be expensive as compared to that in India. So just take that along with you.
Yeah.
And all the best for your future. Stay
Thank you.
connected. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Rajiv. Great having you.
Thank you.
All right.